Hey guys, Anna here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another speed build. Today we're in the world of Copperdale, which is the world that came with the high school years expansion pack for The Sims 4, and we are on the Water Tower Way lot. I have not built on this lot, and I think this particular build there wasn't necessarily any kind of inspiration other than the fact that I really wanted to build on this particular lot. It is a quite a small-ish type lot, and I think a lot of the lots in Copperdale were fairly small. I think that was because one of the main features of that particular pack was to sneak out. So a lot of builds were two-story, or had multi-levels. I think there's also like basements and stuff in some of the towny homes and whatnot. So I think that's particular maybe why that they're small. So this is a 2x1 bedroom home. It is fairly small. It is two-story. It's a semi-open closed floor plan. But this particular build actually has a laundry room, which I really liked. I initially was going to have like a faux garage, but I decided against that in the end, and I decided to do a laundry room off the kitchen, and I love it. This is a very, how do I explain it? I think it is definitely more cluttered than I usually have in my builds. If you are definitely someone who's watched a lot of my content before, you would know I don't overly clutter spaces, but I think this is a particular build where I have, and I really like it. I like the color scheme. Even though I wanted to build on this particular lot, the lighting wasn't great, and I did obviously use the majority of this lot. So it does have a very small backyard, but I think that it's okay. And I think that we've done something different with the backyard. You'll see that shortly. And I like it. All right, so we are moving into the floor plan. The upstairs floor plan was trickiest because of the shape. It was a very small area, and I knew that I wanted 2 bedrooms, but the space was awkward upstairs, and I didn't want a 2x2. I definitely wanted just the one bathroom. So the main bathroom is downstairs, and then you have a large master bedroom and a small child's room upstairs. And then downstairs, we are starting to furnish that kitchen. I've used the country kitchen kit that came ages ago. So this is a really quite old kit, but I felt that it fit this vibe so well. So even though the exterior isn't as colorful, the inside of this build is so colorful. And I love that about this. It's giving like, I don't know, kind of old-fashioned family home. I think if I was to describe this build, old-fashioned family home gives me that. That's how I would describe it. All right. So we use a lot of growing together. We use a lot of packs in this particular build. I am sorry. You can download this. So this is on the Sims 4 gallery. My gallery ID is Antoinette.44. It is in the description below if needed. So I decided to move where the back door was. I'm at this point still trying to work out how I want to lay things out. I believe that you've got your bathroom and study there, and I wanted to have the living room as you enter the front door. So it's kind of like an open space. You walk in, you have your living room, you have your dining and your kitchen. And then, as I mentioned, at the front of the build, next to the kitchen, you have that laundry room, and it's kind of tucked away. I love that. I just think it's so cool, and I believe we put in a clothesline. I'm sure we do. If I don't, that's really wrong with me. But I think it's just such a cute little family home, and it is very small, but it's really well thought out. So yeah. Lots of color. So we've used some high school years. I wanted to make sure I used some of the high school year stuff as it is in that particular world. And I do clutter this kitchen a little more than I usually do. I put like the little owls. They came from Growing Together. I like that little statue piece. I don't usually use a lot of statue pieces, but I thought it worked well. Okay, just putting in some doors. These are the doors that came with high school years. I remember when that pack came out, these doors were like everybody's favorite because they were the first kind of like normal one tile wide doors that we had in the game that were actually really nice. So yeah, I thought I'd use those today. These particular windows, I think, are they Get Famous windows? Maybe. They kind of have that, I guess, retro type vibe that particular pack has, and I kind of liked it. I did struggle with the exterior of the build and the color scheme that I wanted to go. Obviously, with there being certain rooms, like window placement is a bit odd. So I did have to fiddle around with that quite a bit. All right, so here's what we're working with. So we've gone in with the Growing Together sliding, with the Growing Together columns and spandrels. And I do change that kind of shingled front section. Trying to think of what the final outcome is. I do really like that kind of patchy wooden chimney that, not wooden, wow, stonework chimney that comes from Discover University. Oh, and I've just used that. Yeah, I thought I might have. Yeah. So I've just pulled from the chimney and just made it into the accent wall. And I've called it a day. I definitely was thinking to make this yeah. I've gone with a more beige color. I think that it was too vibrant with that kind of dark cherry wood tone. So we've just kind of muted the color scheme a little bit. The neighboring houses in this particular street also have kind of more of a muted color scheme, so I think that it works well. And I'm just going in with the final touches on the exterior, and we are back inside for the wallpaper. I think we actually use, is it the one from the Basement Treasures kit? Yeah, there's something about this wallpaper that, as I said, this was leaning towards like an old-fashioned style family home, and I like how it was plain but muted. It kind of fit the vibe really well in the kitchen. I've gone with not this particular Parenthood wallpaper, but I think the other one of the tile in the kitchen, the backsplash. Again, just really enjoyed the color of that. And we've gone in now with our curtains. In the end, I used the ones from Growing Together, and I used the ones from Parenthood in the kitchen. Parenthood pairs really nicely with these other, like high school years, that country kitchen kit. It just pairs really nicely. Yeah, just adding in lots of clutter and just like cozy clutter that kind of really fits the theme of this particular build. Lots of pastels, lots of color in here. Just alt placing some items in the kitchen. We've got a bread box, and I think I definitely use a kettle. I should have used do I change it? No, I should have used the other kettle. That kettle looks a little bit too modern in this particular space. But that's okay. It's not the end of the world. It's still a kettle. And yeah, just putting in some upper cabinetries. I don't really like the upper cabinets that come with this particular kit. I think I do end up putting in some shelving, some kind of like dated shelving, which is really nice. I think it fits the space quite well. I love this little wall hanging space. I've never really used it that much, but I think it fit this type of kitchen so perfectly. So I'm really happy about that. Just changing around the cabinets. Trying to think where this plate thing should go. This quilted hanging piece is perfect. It's from the Life and Death kit. expansion pack. And I think it's perfect. I think it fits so well in that space. All right, we're just decorating that laundry space. So you've got your washers and your dryers, and I've obviously used a lot of the stuff from the laundry day stuff pack. Stuff pack? Is it stuff pack? I think it's stuff pack. And just, yeah. And of course, you've got to have the toast and egg rug, egg on toast rug. You've got to, it just adds to the vibe of that space. All right, this hallway, very small. I think we just do a bookcase. Potentially we do a chest table. I'm not sure. We might be putting that outside. Oh, I've got a cat tree, so maybe I'm putting a pet in this particular build. We'll have to see. I believe this is an office from memory, but again, you could make this a third bedroom if you wanted to and do a 3x1. It looks like I was having a lot of trouble with that curtain. I apologize. I probably should have cut that out in the editing, but that's okay. Yeah, so it's an office. I guess very basic. I've gone with a very modern desk. I'm not sure why. But that's okay. Maybe that this space is a little different. So we've moved the cat tree in here. We've gone in with probably a tall-ish plant, I would think. Yep. The one from Cottage Living that I use to death. I love that thing. It's like a fig plant or a fig tree. I'm not sure. I think that's the title of it. Really cozy space. We've got the cat calendar and I've gone in with a bit of colour. I usually go in with that swatch. The last swatch. So we've put in a cat bowl. Do I put in a litter box? We'll see. I love this bathroom. It's very blue and it's very pretty. The tiling is so good. It's from the For Rent expansion pack. I think we got such great tiling with that particular pack. I really highly recommend it. What else? Very simple, very basic. We had the litter box in the laundry, so that's okay. So we do have a litter box. That's in the laundry. This just has some very basic furnishings in here. I love these kind of messy towels. I think they're really good. The only thing I don't like about that particular asset is the color swatches of the actual rail part of the towel unit thing. They just have really bad swatches, but the actual towels themselves are cute. All right, we are upstairs and we are working on the master bedroom. This is a fairly large space, as mentioned, and I tried to zone this space so that it made sense. So, I put in a desk and a seating area, and then I'm trying to think of what else I incorporate in this particular space because of how big it was. So I think I'm just really scrolling through the catalog or trying to find all clutter pieces and just things that make sense in this particular space. So I do put in another cat tree, and I think that was a good way to utilize the space because it's quite a big item, and a little seating chair. And I actually think in hindsight I should have moved the desk to where the cat tree was, and then they obviously just swapped those around. I think there's not a lot of room between the ottoman and the desk chair, but that's okay. It's not a huge problem. And then, I love these paintings from Chimney Living. I think they're really cool, and they fit that vibe of the aesthetic of this home quite nicely. All right, just cluttering up the space, putting in a candle. This bed is from Horse Ranch, and it is so cute with the quilt. I love it. And it was that kind of pastel blue and yellow theme that the entire house kind of had. So I kind of vibe with it. All right, we are into the final bedroom of the home. This particular room is a very odd shape, and I remember having the worst time furnishing this particular room because I didn't know where I wanted the bed to go. I was trying to work out, okay, where's the bed going? Where's the dresser going? Is there a desk? Where are the toys going to go? I'm just having a really stressful time with this particular room. It kind of works in the end. So she's got a dollhouse. She's got a big desk. I could have probably put in a smaller desk. I hope that that's functional. Well, I hope so, because it doesn't look... Okay, so we do move it. All right, no, this is fine. I was going to say, I don't believe that would have been functional where it was. There wouldn't have been enough room to get to the bed, which I guess is the whole point of a bedroom. So yeah, really fun and girly. Lots of high school years in here, lots of growing together. I put in like these little cat decals. I thought that might be cute. This is a parenthood wallpaper, which is quite cute. I was looking at the decals that came with the bathroom clutter kit, and I thought, I just think they're so cute, but they're very situational. I think that'd be awesome if you did like a kid's bathroom, but like I wanted to use them in a bedroom sense, and I just really struggled with that. So I used a lot of the basement treasure kit in this particular build because it had that kind of dated, old-fashioned type furniture. I love that bedside table lamp. I use it a ton. I've used the deck chairs, those plastic type chairs that come with for rent. Again, this is just kind of a very, almost like eclectic build. I like it. Yeah, really happy with it. Right, we are outside and we are working on the landscaping. There's not a lot of space for landscaping. We do use the really kind of floral coloured path from Cottage Living. You'll see that in a minute. And we use the swatch that is white and yellow. So it's got these beautiful little yellow flowers. And I think it just adds such a pop to the front of this build that I really enjoy. All right, so the back is just a very tiny section. I'm just putting in some fencing to try to kind of, fence that off. I got rid of the shrubs in the end. That we needed more space for the path and obviously a grill and a seating area. Yeah, so just putting some basic flowers that we used in the front of the build, and we're using them here in the back. So you've got your grill and then just a table and chairs. That's all we could really fit in this back area. I think it's okay. It's not too bad. As I said in a previous build, my Sims don't really use a lot of their backyards. They're hardly there, so it's not too bad. I just love this little path. I think that it adds so much to this particular space, and it just a little bit of detail and pop of color, because I think that it has a very neutral basic exterior, and then you just injecting color by the landscaping, which is really nice. We've used the trash can that comes from high school years, and we've gone with a mailbox that's attached to the wall just because I really didn't have any space at the front of this build. I really have used up this entire lot for the house itself, which is not too bad, but I really struggled I underestimated how small this lot was. All right, we are live in game and we are going through the tour. So you enter into this kind of open space. You have that living room, dining, kitchen. It's just colorful, it's cozy, and yeah. You then go into like a laundry room, which I think is so cool to have a little laundry room. You have an office, a bathroom, and then you go upstairs into the child's room. And I forgot that I didn't put laundry hampers. I have a laundry room and there are no laundry hampers. So I've just added those in for the bedrooms. Speaking of bedrooms, that is the master. And then we will be heading outside. And it looks like I don't have a clothesline, so I will have to add that in. And yeah, but there is a dryer, so it is still functional from the point of download. All right, that is the build today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.